Hello, my name is Francis Fox. Ah, I am here always delivering information, mainly from the other dimensions, or information from the other dimensions and this dimensions that I was able to string together for an understanding because I have help from the other dimensions, that extra information, which is not just a little piece. There's many other dimensions that influence us, and business and politics. So that's what I bring to the table here. Um, we are in very interesting times. I have to tell you that I can be very opinionated, but when I give psychic information, my opinions, I've been trained for them not to interfere. But I have to give you my opinion right now that I am kind of really pleased with the United States. With everything that's going on, and remember that because I was sex trafficked with Kennedy, this and all this stuff that's going on really influences me a lot. In other words, since then, basically, this has been my life in a chokehold. A lot of times I ask myself why they did just eliminate me. Maybe there were too many of us. I have no idea. Whatever. So supposedly tomorrow the Trump said 80,000 documents. Maybe that's how we're not going to be able to find out who the heck did what. Having to go through 80,000 documents. Anyway, tomorrow's G Day for that theme. But what am I proud of? This is a very complicated time in human history, not just in written human history, human history, where the cycle that we're ending is 12,500 years old, not 26,000, the way I said. I make a lot of mistakes with numbers, so you have to always watch that. We're at end times, we're in Revelations, we're in the apocalypse. But you know something? The United States is doing really well. But I'm not saying we're doing really well because I like Trump. Yeah, I actually like people that are so sincere that they get themselves into trouble for being so sincere. But it's because they can't be any other way. I wish the whole world were like that. Why am I proud? Because contrary to what it looks like, if you're like a conservative type person, which I can be when I don't have to deal with everything else, you would say, well, why are you bringing up all that stuff all at once, Trump? Slow down. We don't need to do all of this. Everybody doesn't need to know everything all at once here. Reversing course. We're in Revelations. That means that the energies that are going to be facilitated, lubricated, are going to be things that reveal what needs to be revealed. And that's what Trump is doing. Which is why the last two sketches last week and now this week look so good when it should be a mess. It's not a mess. It's truth, it's real, it's revelations. We're in revelations. So it's like being in a church and trying to do the Mexican hat dance. It's not appropriate. You're not going to get support from people. They're going to get irritated, even if you're really good at the Mexican hat dance. Nobody wants that there. This is good. All of this that's happening is really good. But, and, not but, and. So this is what we had on Thursday. I'd never drawn this before, which is a circle of protection. We still have the Galactic Federation Merkabahs. I just draw what's most important. It does say some stuff here. It says, oh, heavily supervised government maneuvers. I have no idea what that is, but if they're not telling me, I don't need to know. I have enough on my plate. Then here it says independent reality. This is an independent reality. In other words, let's say some dummy decides to push a button, a nuclear bomb goes off. The United States is not going to really be affected because it has an independent reality. We're not going to go down with everybody else. That does not mean that Venezuela doesn't have the same thing. It doesn't mean that Latin America doesn't have the same thing. I only did the United States, but I've never done that before. So if things get critical, and perhaps we are at critical mass in this country, we're not going to be affected. This was Thursday. Now, today it's a little bit different, but look how interesting. This is what I sketched today. So we have double protection, but that circle is broken in the Bagua map of Helpful Friends. And then you have all the black magic. Well, what's going on with Helpful Friends? Elon Musk, Tesla, Trump. Lots of people are hating Elon Musk because of him going in and finding all ludicrous, throwing away of so much money. It's like, it's crazy. Obviously, the people that are going against him haven't really done even a minimal part of their homework. But the important thing is that the Helpful Friends section of the United States, which is, if you lay your body on the map, it will correspond to your left leg, which is wisdom, female energies of wisdom, and trips. And in this map, it is Florida. What are those islands? I don't know what those islands are. I got to look that up. I don't remember. So this is black magic. People are trying to drive a wedge between Trump and Elon. Who would be doing black magic? That would have to be people who know how to do black magic. Who knows how to do black magic and doesn't want Elon and Trump to be friends? I don't know, but why don't you find out? Because look what they're doing. They broke this protection, and now it's a double protection. So what does the map say? Kennedy files tomorrow, and we are in Revelations, and we're in between two eclipses. One is on the 29th, one was on the 14th. In between eclipses is like throwing everything into not a dishwasher, not a washing machine. One of those things where you make your smoothies. So this looks pretty good, except there's a break. So we have to visualize the bond between Elon and Trump remaining strong. Somebody, if not me, somebody else is going to take care of that black magic. And oh my God, isn't today when wait a second, what am I doing here with you? I need to be watching this space shuttle thing. Hold on. I don't see it here, so it cannot be this minute. Give me a second, because this is bigger than all of us. Here we go. Okay. It says they were rescued, but did this already happened? Anyway, we will find out. It says mission accomplished. I guess they have already picked them up and everything is safe. Okay. Okay, well, I'm supposed to go on with whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing, which is this. So we have to purify through intention, through visualization, through a mantra, the relationship between Elon and Trump, which is not the issue. The issue is black magic is being done to destroy that relationship. And we can't have that, because that broke a protection, a double protection that God gave us. Both of these spheres of protection, which create a separate reality, okay, have a break in them. So that needs to be taken care of. I decided I'm not going to look into this, what do you call it? The adrenochrome, or whatever it is that supposedly they are taking from children and drinking it and it keeps them young. I am not going to be doing that at this point, figuring that thing out. I suspect that if I read enough about it, I'll be able to figure it out. But it continues along the same vein of powerful people having information that you call esoteric and cult and dark, having information that the general public doesn't have. Therefore, the general public can be left fiddling over here with things on the physical dimension, and the important stuff is going on in the other dimensions, to the point where the gap between the power players and regular people is too big, which is what has happened. I have not seen Adam shift, but at a distance. In other words, it's almost like he's many dimensions away and he's kind of like looking over here, but he's nowhere near me. But we need to get that figured out because I am not the only victim. It is through people like me that we learn a lot that can help everybody else. So, where do we start with all of that? We start with the fact that Jesus Christ, when somebody was sick, the first thing he did was remove spirits. Well, we don't really believe in spirits, but do you believe in Christ? Absolutely. You're telling me Christ was a liar? Are you telling me that was a show? Are you telling me that Christ was trying to make you shut down because he's dealing with spirits? Is that what you're telling me? No, I didn't think so. So, what are you saying? What you're saying is that you believe something about Christ, but the really important stuff, you don't really believe it. You're not going to say it's a story. What are you going to say it is? Tell me, what are you going to say it is? Because when I used to work with spirits, which I still do, decades ago, people said I worked with the devil. So Jesus Christ worked with the devil. Oh, yeah, but he can work with the devil. But you won't even admit that. No. It's like this veil goes over your eyes and you cannot see it. When I, in the 90s, was allowed to talk about the fact that I was in this military program that was a secret and still hasn't been declassified, I started to get together with people in Miami, Florida that were into all of these other dimensional things and chakras. And they really loved my remote viewing skills. This was good. So they would ask me to read for them. But it always ended up poorly because I was trained to be really effective. When you're really effective and somebody has a problem, you're not supposed to read the issue, the symptoms. You're supposed to read causal. What caused that problem? And these people did not like that because if they were sick, just like Jesus Christ, I could see there was a spirit there. They did not want to hear that. They wanted to hear what was the matter with their knee or their relationship with their daughter or the cancer they had. And being it that I do not play games with what I do, even if it's just without being compensated, that's not the issue. The issue is to being true to the truth as I see it. So I really fell out of favor really, really quickly with everybody in the New Age movement. I stopped going to conferences. They wanted me to use my psychic skills for psychic gossip. That's not what I do. I did it like once or twice and I felt really bad. I was like, what am I doing? I'm giving these people extra information. I don't even know what they want it for. So I stopped doing that. They didn't like it when they were sick and they would ask what was going on. And I would tell them. They didn't like any of that. Love Jesus Christ. Oh, love the Native American Indians and love the shamans. Well, you know what? Shamans, indigenous people, when somebody's sick, the first thing they do is cast out spirits. So what do we have here? We have a population that wants to control information and wants to stay in their comfort zone. Because they insist on staying in their comfort zone, we're not ready for the aliens. We are not ready for the aliens. They've been here. I have a series of 8 chapters on YouTube called Don't Panic, which has to do with what aliens do to us at night, especially to our kids. We're not going to win any awards with that series, even though it really was extremely well done. The editor was unbelievable. People didn't want it. It's 8 chapters when it really should have just been one video because the people I showed it to say, you can't put this out. Why not? It's too much. Too much what? It's like it's upsetting. So then I cut it into chapters, but it's still upsetting. Even though it's less upsetting, you can decide how long you want to be upset. You can be upset for 3 minutes, or you can be upset for the entire 24. What's the point? The point of the matter is that we're in Revelation, so all that information we did not want to deal with is now in our faces, and we have to deal with it and the consequences of not having dealt with it. One of the things that is getting revealed in Revelations is the underworld. What's in the underworld? In the underworld are the fragments of us that go down, underworld, underneath the trunk of our body. There's 7 energy centers that practically nobody knows about. And that's where our darkness is, of all of us. So all those people that did god awful things that are now getting revealed because they're tracking the money, I'm sure that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, they don't even remember that they did something god awful because they're not comfortable. Most of them are not evil. They did something, they got positioned, they whatever. And then they do something and they know it's not right, but they can't deal with it. Like my therapist used to tell me, you got to go to school the next day. You got to be functional. You can't be remembering all this trauma and all the stuff that they did to you and you did and that you witnessed. So you just put it away. Where do you put it away? You put it away underneath the trunk of your body in the dimensions that have chakras. There's been a wall and a door between your consciousness and that which you could call your subconscious. That wall 2 weeks ago, gone. There's no door because there's no wall. You don't need a door because there's no wall. So we are all going to be living individually and as a society with all the darkness that never got purified. It makes me a little bit proud of myself that because I'm a Cancer and we tend to be negative, that I have insisted with the people that follow me, the Mantrista movement, that it's a movement. Everybody does whatever. There's nothing that you have to do. You do a mantra, you can be a mantrista. You don't want to be a mantrista, it's okay. Keep doing the mantras. But I'm a little proud of myself that I insisted on spending practically all the time on purifying our personal histories, our childhood. It's the childhood stuff that impacts us the most. And I think I figured out why. You can have a bigger trauma later on, and it's not as damaging to your mind as what happened when you were 4. I think it's because when we're a kid, we have 0 power. And so we feel so much more impotent, so much more helpless when something happens. But it's possible that that's not the correct explanation. But our biggest traumas are childhood. And for those of you that can tolerate the whole issue with past lives, it's dragged in from previous lifetimes. That happens again for you to kind of finally deal with it. So we spent a lot of time, and we continue to spend a lot of time on purifying more than we do on creating, because you're not supposed to put wonderful creations on top of garbage, because the garbage underneath is just going to ferment and it's going to take down what you created. So I think I'm going to cut this short because I want to see what happened with the SpaceX rescue. I think I'm going to cut this short. I'm too hooked on the astronauts that are coming back, which, by the way, is Helpful Friends. Maybe that's going to repair the break in these 2 circles that are supposed to encapsulate the United States and give us a separate reality. So if some crazy people do something over there, it's not going to be able to take us down. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and we will see you again tomorrow. And I'm going to trolley on over to X and find out what it is that's going on with what's most important right now, which is the Helpful Friends activity helping to bring down some stranded astronauts.